Come on in.
Here's some more paperwork.
Come on. 99 hots. Does anybody have a way I can get my hands dirty? XO? Where is it? Fire it up. Hello everybody, welcome back to XO's 5-star jobs. As you can see, based on the attack number here in this space, we are forward of frame 1. So we're all the way at the forward part of the ship on the starboard side. We're going to do some water break maintenance today with the aircraft launch recovery equipment team. So when everybody thinks of the aircraft carrier, they think of the airplanes launching and recovering, flying their missions from the aircraft carrier in support of national objectives. But of course, flying airplanes can't happen without the launching and recovery equipment. So what we're going to do today is take a look at how they do all the maintenance on the launching and recovery equipment. We're going to take, through this episode, we are going to take a look at the full life cycle of an aircraft launch and recovery event. From maintenance on the launching equipment, maintenance on the recovery equipment, hooking up airplanes, and launching them into the sky. Of course, the first thing I need to do before I do any maintenance or crawl into any space is I need to defod. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing my command pit today, but I have lots of things that I need to get rid of before I climb into a confined maintenance space.
And then, I don't know.
We found ourselves now in the Catapult 1 water break space. Catapult 1 is the catapult that's on the bow, all the way on the starboard side of the ship. The water break space is used to provide a counterforce to the piston and the shuttle as they slide forward launching an airplane. Without the water break, the piston would just hit the end of the ship, eventually causing damage to both the piston and the ship, reducing the life cycle of both of them. So we have 3,000 to 5,000 gallons of water at the end of the catapult stroke to provide a brake, slow that piston down before it hits the end of the ship, preserving the life of both of those. So every 2 weeks, we have to do maintenance on the water breaks, and we're going to go through each one of the water breaks. Today, we're going to climb into Catapult 1 water break. We're going to check the rings, make sure that everything holds up well in there. Now, I've got the team of experts up here. They're going to help me go through this. That's why I'm wearing the green, because that's what they normally would wear as flight deck jerseys as part of the Catapult crew. But they're, as we're going into the water break today, you can see that they've got proper protective equipment on, and we're going to climb in there and take a look at it. So I want the team to introduce themselves. Go ahead, tell us who you are, where you're from, and say hi to somebody at home.
Everyone, Maximano Lopez from Pueblo, Colorado, and everybody, right from here from home.
All right, when I was growing up, Pueblo, Colorado was where you wrote to get anything that you wanted. Self-addressed stamp envelope to Pueblo, Colorado, and it got sent back to you.
Yes.
All right, so welcome. Hi. Tell us who you are.
AB2 Harrell from St. Peters, Missouri. I'd like to say hi to my wife and my little girl, Andrea, and Aubrey. Love you.
All right, great.
I'm AB Dan Ballard. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I just wanted to say hi to my wife back home, Tamala.
All right, fantastic.
Hi, I'm ABA and Michael Kirby. I'm from Smithsburg, Maryland, and I want to say hi to my mom back in Smithsburg.
Great.
Hi, I'm ABA in Berry Hill. I wanted to say ABA in Berry Hill. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I want to say hi to my mom and my wonderful girlfriend back home, Crystal.
All right, Colorado, well represented here by this crew, but from all over the country, as you can see, and all sorts of expertise to lay on us. All right, so you're going to be working us through this maintenance as the supervisor, is that right?
Yeah, I'm the quality assurance already QA.
All right, All-Ray QA, aircraft launch and recovery equipment, quality assurance. So making sure that we've done the maintenance right once we get done with this.
Yes, sir.
You've got the maintenance requirement card, is that correct?
No, sir.
I have
He's
it
got the maintenance requirement card. You've got the checkoff list.
Yes, these are the reading sheets, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna note the readings to make sure that the rings inside of there are working correctly and are all set up.
Yes, sir.
You've got the maintenance requirements card that is gonna help us step through there. Now, one of the things that it says on the maintenance requirement card is that we need PPE,
Proper
correct?
PPE, yes, sir.
Okay, so you're already dressed up in the PPE. Walk me through what are we gonna wear and why are we wearing it?
We wear poopy suits because
Poopy suits.
water.
All right, that's the scientific term, poopy suit.
Water and lube in there from the lube injectors when we shoot.
Right, so we've got that 3,000 to 5,000 gallons of water that we talked about. We've got lube oil that gets into the water. So instead of ruining our uniforms, we could ruin the poopy suits and just throw these out, and then we can have preserve our uniforms, which also then goes on to preserving our washing machines, which helps to preserve water, which is obviously a big deal as we're standing here sweating in what appears to be the ship's one of the ship's saunas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else are we gonna wear?
We have to wear protective gloves.
Protective gloves because of the lube oil.
Yes, sir.
And then I see you've got goggles on as well. These are vented goggles. These are the non-vented
Non-vented.
goggles.
Non-vented.
Non-vented goggles, specific goggles. Now I see you also have a light on your head. So we're either going cave diving or it's dark in the water
It's
break.
really dark in there, sir.
Okay. So do you know exactly where we're going?
Yes, sir.
So you have the light on. You've done this maintenance before. You're going to be able to lead us directly to the spot that
Yes,
we're
sir.
headed.
Yes, sir.
All right. So go ahead and walk us through what we're going to be looking at today.
Yes, sir. We will be looking at the foot pads.
What's a foot pad?
The foot pads are what the water brakes slide on.
Okay.
So you get it helps with the elongation of the telescopics. Also, we'll be taking the seat to choke, the choke to annulus. The annulus ring is the one that actually creates the vortex to the water brakes
Okay.
and helps stop the spears from
Alright.
going through.
Yes.
Water displacement, and that's pretty much.
So
it.
as the piston hits the water, the annulus tends to spin the water, and that provides a counteracting force to slow that
Yes,
down. So it's not just hitting a solid block of water as the piston moves forward.
Are still.
All right, this is a pretty amazing system for something that was designed in the late '60s, built in '75, still working for us today, launching airplanes safely every single fly day that we have the opportunity to do so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you say we do this maintenance every 2 weeks or every 500 launches
And
per
500
catapult?
launches.
Okay, so we're at the 2 week point. We're going to do this maintenance, get ourselves ready to launch airplanes on the next fly day.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now I guess I need to put my PPE on so we can climb inside of there.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't go in either. Let's step ahead to .07.
Let's do that together, sir.
There we go. 7.
246, yell outside.
Okay.
Port side number 6. And number
Port side number 6, 070. All right.
that easy.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Now that we've checked the water break, which again is maintenance that happens every 2 weeks or every 500 shots, we now are going to do the pre-op check on Catapult 4 launch valves. The steam that comes into the catapults is pressurized to 520 psi. The launch valves are going to determine how much of that psi remains for shooting the aircraft off the front end of the ship. What we're going to do is do the pre-op maintenance so that they can shoot no loads, they can test the valve operating times. So as an air crew, when we taxi up to the catapult, we're shown the wakeboard. And the wakeboard should correspond to how much the aircraft weighs. When we give a thumbs up that that's how much our aircraft weighs, based on fuel and stores, then that's going to determine how long these launch valves stay open. So we want to make sure these launch valves stay open the right amount of time, that they open and shut smoothly. That's going to maintain the pressure. So I'm here with the experts at Cat 4, and we're going to go over some of the maintenance on how to make sure that these catapult valves operate correctly. Tell me who you are, where you're from, say hi to somebody at home.
Navy 1 Robert Terone from Peekskill, New York. I work in QA. I'd like to say hi to my wife and my 2 kids at home.
Great.
Navy AN Tyler Triano from Longmont, Colorado. The waste catapults, and I'll say hi to my mom and my dad.
All right, Longmont, Colorado. So now we've met 6 people already today, and 3 of them are from Colorado. So 50% of the air department apparently is from Colorado.
Yes, sir.
Rocky Mountain High. Okay, so tell us what we're going to do today to make sure these valves are operating correctly.
We're going to be
Nice and loud.
We're going to be greasing the launch valve. There's about 27 zerks. So the valve has to open and close. So we grease all the components to make sure the valve functions properly.
All right, we're going to grease all the components, and we're going to use a high temperature grease because this steam is very hot. So we need the grease to last, not break down because of the heat.
Yes, sir.
As you can see, we're wearing these awesome Dr. Strangelove suits. We're going to put these masks on to protect our faces from the grease, and then we're going to go play paintball in Hangar Bay 3. All right, you got the grease there? All right, show me what we got here.
Make sure we just reset the steam mixer works.
Oh! All right, I need to make sure that I have my PPE on at all times. Checks full row. So does the apron. Works good. Where are we gonna? Oh, right into there.
And it's 4 ounces per zerk.
Okay. So how do I know how many ounces?
Keep it low. Once you get it, wiggle it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really pour out. Go ahead.
That's it.
Under here, sir.
There you go. Good. Okay. How's that? That's high temperature grease right there. Okay, now we're on the flight deck between catapults 3 and 4. We're going to go over the procedures that we use to launch the airplanes, and we're going to do it now before we actually have the airplanes turning. That way you can actually hear us. Tell us who you are and where you're from. Say hi to somebody back home.
I'm AB3 Anderson. I'm from Waukegan, Illinois, right at boot camp. I want to say hi to my sister who's living right there right now. I want to show the EXO here how to do correction and how to set the CSV and get the bird off the deck properly.
You grew up near boot camp, so did you go home at night from boot camp and stay with your parents? Okay, all right, so not an option.
Not an option. I had to stay. I live like 2 blocks away from boot camp.
So what is your responsibility here? What are we doing?
Well, my primary responsibility is to help the shooter get the correct CSV settings.
What do we mean by CSV?
Capacity selector valve. It's the opening and closing of the launch valve to how steam goes to the bird, so the catapults work properly to get the bird off the deck safely.
Right, so as we saw when we were downstairs in the catapult valve room, we want to control how fast the valve opens and closes so that we don't apply too much steam or too little steam. Make sure we get the airplane off at the correct speed. All right, so how are you going through this process?
Well, first, there's a first class downstairs on panel who's going to give you a rundown. The stuff you want to look for is your elong. They're going to give you an elong just a 7-0.
When he says elong, he's talking about as the catapult heats up, it elongates, it expands. So we want to make sure that we're taking that into account. Overall, what we're looking at here is a correction to the catapult settings. Petty officer is going to do a correction. Another petty officer downstairs is going to do a correction, and they're going to do it independently. And only when those 2 corrections agree are we going to get a thumbs up and say, we're safe to launch that airplane. What types of things are you taking into account? You're taking into account the elongation. What next?
Well, first, you want to know what bird, because you want to know what correction you're going to use. So the elong, you're going to look at that elong for that bird. So let's say we're shooting a rhino, and the elong is 7-0. Correction going to be 0 for elong.
So every aircraft has its own specific elongation correction.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then the shooter is going to give you DA. That's density altitude.
Density altitude is where we talk about differences in air thickness. So the higher the density altitude, the thinner the air, which means we're going to need to put a little more oomph in the catapult to make sure the airplane gets up in the air correctly.
Yes. So then the shooter is going to give you a DA like 500. So you're going to go to your page, and you got to be the correct bird. So we're doing a rhino, so we're going to go 500. The correction is 0. So usually you add them. 0 plus 0 is 0. So So that's your total correction. You don't have.
So you're doing this correction, another petty officer downstairs is doing this correction, and you're going to arrive at, you're not going to speak to each other,
No.
but you're going to tell him what you came up with as a total correction.
Sir.
Then he's going to tell you what he came up with as a total correction.
Sir.
Okay.
And the weight board operator will go around and give me the weight. So you have the type of bird, then we're going to have a weight. So they're going to give us a weight, say 5'3", they're going to give us the weight. So you're going to write your weight down, 5'3". And then the shooter is going to look at the wind. We have 0 correction, so the wind is 2.8. So you're going to look at it, zero correction, so 2.8 is going to be the wind. So you find the weight, headwind is 2.8, and you find your weight, the 2.8 right here, and you find the weight, which is 5'3". So you're going to come down, it's right here, 170, so that's the CSV. Shooter's going to look at it, you're going to verify it. You're going to tap it if you like that 170. So on count 3, you're going to set it, 170. When you're going to look at the CSV, and if it's good, you're going to double tap it. Then you're going to relay the wind to the panel downstairs, because only shooter can give you the wind.
Okay.
So you're going to relay the wind to them. They're going to do the same step that I just did up here. And if they get the same match, then the deckage operator going to put up with 1, or he's going to say set match confirm on cat 3, whatever it is. And then that's how, you know, I put my thumbs up, shooter going to see me, he's going to know that everything's matched up, and he's good to shoot the bird. We all good.
How long have you been on the ship?
A year.
A year.
Going for 2 years.
All right, we've only been doing this for about 8 months. You got this thing down. You've got it nailed. You can see all the corrections that go into making sure every single individual aircraft is corrected for uniquely to make sure that we get it off at the correct speed with the correct amount of force so we don't cause damage to either our equipment or to the aircraft. And it's all being done by young petty officers here independently to make sure that we've got all sorts of safety precautions in place. Nice job. Thanks.
You,
all right, I can't wait to work with you here shortly.
All right, sir.
It'll be great. All right, Lieutenant Allen is my shooter mentor today. He's going to walk me through a pre-flight of Catapult 3. Tell me what we're looking at here. We're just going to shoot it from here and point it out up the cat track.
Yes, sir. As we start out here at the end of the cat track, we're looking down the track. We're going to first look at the buffer hook assembly and make sure that the roller moves freely.
All right.
And then, yes, sir. And that there's nothing impeding the hooks to come up so that they can hold on to the holdback bar and keep the airplane from launching prematurely.
Okay.
So it looks good. From there, we're going to walk down the track, checking the shuttle track, making sure it's clear of FOD and any debris. We're going to make sure that there's no bolts missing from the deck plates, and we're going to make sure when we get to the end that the shuttle has all the bolts in there, that they're tight, that they're torqued down to the proper setting, and that the shuttle's safe to launch the aircraft.
And how long before the first launch do you do that?
So we typically man up 30 minutes before every launch, and we check it before every launch. The shooter is not the only person that checks it. We have a topside petty officer, a catapult safety who also check the same things with a final sanity check to make sure nothing is glaring and out of place.
All right, so triple checked every catapult before we launch, 30 minutes prior, just to make sure we're working. And then how many no loads are we going to shoot before the actual launch event?
So every day we shoot 2 no loads on the cats. We're going to shoot to make sure that they're fully functional on the hydraulic and steam sides.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's a lot of preparation work to make sure we get these aircraft off safely.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.